Welcome to the GCC podcast presented by Gateway. Today, we are thrilled to welcome Jesse Anglin, co founder and CEO of Rapid Innovation. Rapid Innovation is dedicated to bridging human creativity with AI automation. Jesse is a visionary leader and an AI enthusiast. We are excited to hear his insights on the power of AI automation and its transformative impact on the global business landscape. Welcome, Jesse. Welcome to the podcast. I'd like to know, Jesse, with the rapid growth of GCCs in India, how do you see the increasing adoption of advanced technologies and the synergistic evolution of AI, automation, blockchain?
I mean, that's a big question. So I would say I'd probably answer that question like this. As far as impact goes, like India specifically offers some of the very best tech talent in the world, like globally. I mean, there's some really good tech talent in South America. There's some decent tech talent in Europe and places. But the truth is, if you go look at all the largest tech companies on planet Earth and see who is running the tech at those companies. Like it's somebody from India 9 out of 10 times, right? And so one of the things that I think is going to happen, especially as AI continues to grow, and there's more and more need for agentic systems to be built internally inside companies, is you're going to see people probably outsourcing or partnering with a smaller Indian company that happen like we have. So I just see it growing. It has grown a lot though, even in the last 10 years, 15 years that I've been
Yes.
somewhat involved in the GCC landscape. Like it's grown a lot if you look at what was happening 20 years ago versus what was happening 5 years ago versus what's happening today. So I think that'll continue.
Yes, and there's a lot of growth envisaged in the next 5 years as well. Yes. So moving on to something more towards innovation and your leadership style. As the CEO of Rapid Innovation, you've been instrumental in driving growth through AI automation. You just mentioned that as well. So many GCCs in India are focusing on scaling their operations and enhancing their service delivery. Can you share a specific example of how you believe your AI driven solutions could help and any company overcome a complex operational challenge?
Yeah. This is probably my favorite topic of all the topics that exist in the world, at least at the moment. Um, so at Rapid Innovation about 3 years ago,
Yes.
probably give or take, I told my company that from an operational standpoint internally, we have to start using agentic systems. We built our first agentic system roughly 3 years ago, and it saved like that. There was a process we had when we would onboard a new client that took around from somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks and 3 to 4 people. And the when we built our first agentic system, that process went from a 3 week process and a 4 person 3 week process to a 1 person 3 hour, maybe 6 hour
Okay.
process, right? So the time savings and the quality improvement of that process was mind blowing to me. And this was with ChatGPT 2,
Okay.
right? So this was I mean, that model sucks. If you go use it, it's terrible. It doesn't work at all. What you can do today is
A lot faster.
incredible compared to that, right? So at Rapid Innovation, like I have an entire department dedicated to doing nothing but build agentic workflows inside Rapid Innovation internally. Whether that is workflows that support like HR efforts, our operational and service delivery efforts, so CI/CD pipelines for code delivery, things along those lines. Like all of that stuff, we're moving towards a digital workforce and digital employees because it is so efficient. And at the end of the day, what it really ends up doing is that it allows the people that are working inside Rapid Innovation to do the things they love to do and do the things that they're good at, and then you just let the machines do all the work no one wants to do. I mean, who wants to write test cases for code, right? And do that. Nobody wants to do that. Like it's boring. So you make the AI do it. Probably the biggest, like most visual piece of digital labor that we've built would be our Instagram channel. So if
Okay.
you if you go look at our Instagram channel, it's a talking head kind of content creation thing with me in it doing these Instagram videos. Well, that entire system is agentic. So I'm not in the video. It's not my voice. I don't research the topics. Like the entire channel is run by a digital workforce that's doing that marketing for us. And so that would be an example of how we've leveraged AI to do something that we're not entirely good at, right? Like we are builders. We go and build software. We build interesting agentic systems and things along those lines. And so we've leveraged the skill of building to go and build a marketing system that just runs on its own. And probably 97, 96% of that Instagram channel is operated solely by AI, with
Okay.
maybe 4% of the effort being done by humans. Um, and that's what I would suggest people do. I mean, just embrace it. Like realize that the future is digital labor and digital workforce, and start finding out how you can take your very best people and get rid of all the things they should not be doing.
Yes.
And it'll transform your business. I mean, it's an incredible feeling. It's an incredible thing to start doing.
I haven't seen the channel. I'm definitely going to see this after the podcast. So moving on to something that takes this a little further. So considering the unique talent pool and technological infrastructure of India, what emerging AI trends or technologies do you believe will have the most profound impact on the future of GCCs in India over the next, say, 5 to 10 years? I'd say a 5 year.
I mean, for me, it boils down to one thing, really, just very simply, and that's digital labor. Like
Yes.
the when
And
I the first time I saw a computer do something better than a human being could, that was a competent human, right? Like they were very, very good at their job, and a computer did a better job than they did. Um, and I started watching people build these complex systems to do human labor jobs, right? And the machines started taking over labor at a competent level. Like they created real value. Um, I realized that fundamentally planet Earth was just going to be changing. You know, like we've never been in a place where all of a sudden the machines started doing valuable work, like
work, yes.
creating value and adding value to humanity. Um, and so what I've realized as I've been really diving into this space and trying to create digital workforces, building them for clients, building them, internally, playing like that's what I was doing before this call, is I was playing around with with another system that I'm trying to build, um, just for something small. The more I play around with digital labor and converting human labor into digital labor, the more I realize, especially with like small GCCs, if they were to do that, they, you can't compete with them, right? I mean, I'll give you just an odd example. On the way over to India, my daughter was bored, and I was curious as to whether or not she could. She's 16, whether or not she could build, like write a software application, because
Okay.
she's very creative, right? But she's never written a line of code in her entire life. She has no interest writing code at all whatsoever. She's an artist. She's a musician. She's the opposite of the kind of person that sits down and writes code. And so I set her up with an agentic framework that writes code for her if she just explains her ideas. And she had an idea for a game that she wanted to create. And in 2 hours, that girl sat down and she created a game that had procedural generation of art on cards and an entire mechanism for winning and playing the game. All of this stuff. A super beautiful, really, really, really neat game, that she built, having never written a line of code in her entire life. If you take that concept and you realize, okay, you can convert. What I did was I took the best part of her human labor, which was her creativity and her problem solving skills and her need to build beautiful things. And I combined that with a digital labor system and said, okay, go to town. When you start applying that to the business world, inside GCCs, inside any company really, especially service oriented companies, um, what you can start accomplishing is incredible. And that's where I think the huge opportunity is.
Yes, that's a combination of human and digital. Yes.
Yes.
And I hope she enjoyed doing that as much.
Yeah, she loved it. In fact, her comment to me was, "So, Dad, if this is all programming is," she's like, "Programming's easy." I'm like, "No, no, no, you have no idea. Like, you'll never know what programming is."
Yeah. And knowing she's creative, there's so much music she can create as well. I'm moving to the fun part of this podcast, which is the rapid fire questions. I'd like to know from you, since you are a tech freak, which is your favorite tech gadget you cannot live without?
I think that my actual very favorite tech gadget are my headphones, mostly because I listen to a lot of audiobooks,
Okay,
and and I love to do things at the same time. Like I need to use my hands and be doing something. And so I would say that if I could just have one thing, it would be access to audiobooks and podcasts
lovely,
and my headphones.
lovely. Now, for all the love you have for India, I'd like to know what is that favorite food on the Indian cuisine that you like most?
Gosh, my very favorite Indian food that I have ever had in India so far is Northern Indian food.
Is
North Indian food is my
okay,
favorite, and
North
the
Indian.
further north, the better. I don't actually know what I ate because I didn't read the language. But in my very first trip to India, when I was in Delhi, I ate at a Kashmiri restaurant, and
Okay.
that's probably been my favorite food so far. And so it seems that the further north I go in India, the more I like the food. That's what it seems like. Not that the food in South India is amazing as well. I've been enjoying
It's
it, but
very different, yes. Each state has its own speciality when it comes to cuisine. But good to know
well,
your version.
and I just ate my very first dosa like an hour ago, and I've never had dosa before, and that was amazing.
Okay,
Um,
that's
and
nice.
so I'm still exploring. I haven't eaten enough Indian food to know what my favorite is yet.
And my last question on this is what's your go to method for de stressing? What do you do if you have to de stress?
Um, for me, it's I create music.
Great music.
It's usually learning a new instrument. So I play several instruments, but right now I'm learning to play the violin.
Okay.
And as soon as I get to where I can play the violin competently, I'll need some other method for de-stressing. So I'll pick up another instrument. Usually about maybe once every couple years. I'll grab a new instrument and learn to play it. Uh, and I think that concentration and that learning something new helps me to de-stress a lot.
And feeds the creative side of you as well. That's lovely. Music
Yes,
is definitely something that soothes a lot of us. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you here. It was lovely talking to you and getting to know you, Jesse.
thank you. It was phenomenal chatting with you as well.
Thank you, Jesse.